coming down.
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
They're going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly, Miller's still start trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry!
Good evening and welcome to the LSRL GT3 live from Phillip Island, round 7. I'm James Parfitt. I'm joined in the booth, as always, by Michael David. And what an absolute epic evening of racing we have got ahead here for you guys as well. Thank you so much for joining us over on the JPB YouTube channel. Don't forget to give the video a big old thumbs up, turn on the bells and subscribe if you haven't already. Phillip Island, 4.445 kilometers, 2.762 miles, 12 tons of absolute epic proportions. I love Phillip Islanders, of course. I think it's absolutely, truly amazing, and I think it's one that definitely needs to be on the schedule more often because it is an absolute epic road course as well. And the track record, believe it or not, was set by Tim Slade in a Brabham BT62 2022 sports car racing on a 1:24.067. Still faster than Nathan Graham in his Audi on a 1:27.0. And as always, as I said earlier, I've got Michael David joining me this evening. Michael, good evening to you, sir. How are you?
James, I'm doing great. How are you doing this evening?
I'm very well. Very excited for what plans to be an absolute barnstorming night of racing. The championship standings are on the screen. Nathan Graham is leading away as I look anxiously and think, are they really that? As we just go into qualifying in 2 seconds where I look at these and just... Okay, let's try that one again. Right, thank you, Mr. Championship. Okay, why the overlay decides it doesn't want to work properly, that would be amazing. And we're going to have a look at the championship standings. They are, it seems to be correct. So Nathan Graham is on 73, Jay Smart 70, Joseph Kearns on 67, Elliot Borg 64, Dylan Gonez on 50, Daniel Pereira on 49, Ryan O'Connor 48, Peter Muller 43, Steve Baker on 38, Mason Sagar 36, Jonathan Dickerman on 34, tied with James Rep on 34, Ben Barnes there on 31, Sean Atkins 26, Nathan Effley 25, tied with Thomas Boniatti, John Silver on 17, and Mikael Turkin there on 16. So below that we have got Brandon Fornell on 12, Joey Fernandez on 11, Alexander Amidon on 9, Brandon Birmingham on 8, and Jared Lindsay is on 6. Now in the championship of the teams, Smart Smart Gonasborg Racing is on 161, LMA on 102, JBJ on 91, Part-Time Pros on 82, Worst Pace Scenario 79, Slowly Driving By You is on 71, Black Gold Racing 49, and JJ Racing there behind them at the bottom end of the field. As I say, we have just entered qualifying. Michael, do you like Phillip Island, dear sir?
I think it's a great track. It kind of feels like a roller coaster. Now, driving it, not so much. I'm not a great Phillip Island connoisseur. It's kind of a newer track for me, and driving the Porsche, I found it really, really, really hard to keep the rear end underneath me. But I did manage to put in a couple laps earlier today to get a little more confidence on it. But yeah, this is a challenging track. You don't really realize it, and when you look at it on paper, it looks like it'd be a pretty simple layout. But there's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of camber on some of these turns that you don't really realize. The elevation changes are definitely there. It's a challenging track.
It definitely is. The guys have done their first lap and are now setting the times on the board. Nathan Graham is purple currently across sectors 1 and 2. What is he going to do across the third sector? It'll be interesting to see. Thank you so much, Dylan Gonaz, the Dan Redcoat in YouTube, and Daniel Reach. No Daniel Pereira tonight. Let's go Dylan. So, yep, no Daniel Pereira, but it is Let's Go Dylan Gonaz. That is absolutely amazing. Our view as Nathan Graham comes across the board. What is he going to be able to do? Nothing. So he must have had an off track somewhere there for Nathan Graham. In fact, he did. Alexander Amadon is back in the field again for the Part-Time Pros. Very, very tricky circuit, this one. Michael, I've driven this in a TCR, not too much success, got to be honest. Didn't really go the way I wanted it to. I got a funny feeling, though, with the way this course is set up, the Porsche might be a little bit of a handful here. It's at the hands of Ryan O'Connor at the moment, but I got a funny feeling it could be a little bit of a handful with that back end being as loose as it wants to be.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be a challenge around this course. You know, the engine sits behind the rear axle on the Porsche, so it really is extremely loose on the end sometimes. It's going to be a challenge here, but you know, O'Connor is definitely a great driver here. He knows how to handle that Porsche. If you know what you're doing, you can kind of use it to your advantage here. It is a very nimble car, but it's just not going to be the easiest to handle as we see him coming in. I did that a couple times myself. It's so easy to lose that rear end there in the turn one. It's ridiculous. Honestly, here's what I think is going to be tonight. I think it's going to be who can keep their car on track, because it's so easy to lose your rear end on all of these cars, let alone the Porsche. And then B, when the pit stops come, which we know are going to happen, who's going to be able to safely manage their pit exit? Because the way pit road is here, there's no runoff. When you're leaving pit lane, you're just right there at the end of the only straight really on this track, and you're into a high speed right hander. So it's going to be a very, very tricky. You know, these drivers are really going to have to be careful when they go through their pit cycles tonight.
I think they will. Ryan O'Connor off again in the background in that Porsche there as well. Nathan Heffley has got greens across at the moment as well, so we can have a look at quick Nathan Heffley in the Ferrari. We've got a very Ferrari-dominated field, haven't we? I think that would be the easiest way to put it here tonight, as we've got no fewer than 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 of them on track at the moment.
Yeah, we saw the Ferrari has been very, very, very highly liked so far this season. I know earlier in the season we've kind of discussed that might be a little bit of a balancing where the Ferrari is kind of just a really strong car this season after recent updates. But last week we saw a lot of the Ferrari drivers were having issues at Elkiyama with their rear end. They were spinning out a lot more than we saw from the Porsches. Well, there was only one Porsche. We only had one Porsche run this season. But yeah, the Ferraris were not liking Okayama last week, as we see one of the Audis off track there in the background. But it looks like they're a lot more steady. They're a lot more comfortable so far tonight. I think I think these drivers are going to have a lot less of an issue with the Ferraris than they did last week with the Okayama.
Yeah, it was a well, yeah, it was a bit of a mare, to be fair. We do actually have a McLaren on track tonight. Garrett Wilburn, or Gabe Wilburn, or hold on, Gabe Burke here. Sorry, in the McLaren. And Garrett Wilburn is another new one here tonight as well. So we've got two drivers there. I've not heard of Gabe Burke before, as we're just sitting here watching Mikhail Turkin go off in, well, turn 2 effectively. And I've done that myself, and it is very, very tricky, that circuit, that corner. So they will have to be careful. Brandon Thornhill for the slowly driving Bayou team. Currently on a green as he's going around the final part. Pit entrance is on the right hand side at the top of your screen. It runs all the way down. Now there is 2 possible exits. It's going to be interesting to see if there's been any rules on which one they have to take. There's the first one there at the top there, and then as you can see, that's one of the Lambos come out of the pits, and the other one is there. So it'd be interesting to see which one they're allowed to take, I think, Michael. I don't know if there's been any stipulation that they must take the first or the second one, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm not really quite sure about that. I'm actually used to taking the second, the longer pit lane exit there, so I'm not really sure what they've decided. We'll have to pay attention to that as we come along. I do want to point out the Spy versus Spy livery here is just very unique. I'm a big fan of it. Gray and blue is one of my favorite color combinations. I think that car looks absolutely stunning. Big fan.
Why gray and blue?
I don't know. I think it just is a good color combination.
Gray and blue.
When you get a nice matte gray and then you have a blue that kind of pops to match it, I think it looks great. I love that.
Okay.
Now, so in my personal opinion, I would kind of have like more of an all matte car with the blue, kind of like if you look at the gray side where they have the blue accent on the bottom there. I think that on the whole car with the blue accent would be sharp. That's my personal opinion, but I just think blue and gray just looks so sharp together.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. Hey, I'm a bright and beautiful. I like yellow, so anything with yellow in, and you've got me sold. So in general, but you know.
So I walked into a Toyota dealership the other day, and I saw a brand new Toyota Supra, but I just couldn't get over it. It looked like a mustard yellow, and it just wasn't my thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I do like the Lamborghini in yellow, though. I've got to be honest. Some of the Lamborghinis look awesome in yellow.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there.
Yeah.
Some of those Lambos are very sharp.
Definitely. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. With 18 cars here on track, no time currently for the Ferrari of Brandon Birmingham, and they've only got 50 seconds to do it. So it'll be interesting to see what Brandon can do as he's sitting down the order currently at the moment to see how he gets on. I think that's going to be a interesting one. As you can see there, he's coming around the top side of the circuit, around Siberia, so he should get it done in time. But we'll just have to see how he gets on there as well. Troy Banks is another one that's got greens going across the board in that Lamborghini as he's coming round the final corner. So see how he gets on. And what is he going to do? He's going quicker. We'll see how more quickly he's going. No, more quicker. No, hold on. Let me figure out what the English term would be. He went quicker in 9th place there. So well done to him.
I think Troy Banks is also another driver. I'm not seeing him here on the driver standings. I think tonight is his first week. The name does look familiar, but I think he's new to this league here. This is going to be his first race tonight, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not sure if his first one. I think he has been here before. I just don't know which one he did.
Familiar.
Yeah, I don't know which one he did. I think he did it before.
I'm just not seeing him on the driver standings here, so...
I think he has. I just can't tell you when. So maybe he didn't score points. I don't know. But there we go. As quali has ended. So the poll vote. Nathan Graham, 100%. Well, Nathan Graham did take pole. Oh, nice. No, oh, if he could have kept that on track, that would have been awesome. He just didn't keep it on, Michael. Didn't keep it on at all.
The Lamborghini kind of reminds me of the Batman movies.
Batman.
I think it looks nice too. Yeah. What was it the Dark Knight? I think.
Yeah, I know which one. The one with that awesome car. Do you know? I saw that in Lego the other day. Oh man,
With the tumbler?
Yeah.
They had the tumbler?
yeah, the Lego Batman car. God,
Oh, that's awesome.
dude, the God, I could have partied with about £300 right there and then just to purchase that. It was
Oh,
awesome, and it was huge. It wasn't even a small one; it was a big one. So there we go. We'll wait for the quality results to come up here, and then we will bring you up the results there as well. Don't forget, we have got half a lap of rolling, or a quarter of a lap maybe, and also as well with 45-minute race, 50% fuel, they do have to pit, so we will have pit stops as well, so stay tuned for that one because it does get rather spicy rather rapidly after the pit stops. So it's going to be a great race. So sorry to put you on the spot, Michael, but who do you think is going to win?
Well, I actually am one of the 4 people that voted. I picked for Nathan Graham. I think he had such a dominant race last week. That Audi is going to be just as nimble as it was last week. As we see our starting grid here, we got Nathan Graham coming through on pole position. His teammate, Alexander Amadon, in second place. And then Elliot Borg for Smargonas Borg Racing coming through in third place. Jay Smart in fourth place. Sean Adkins in fifth place. Dylan Gonez in sixth place. Joseph Carnes in seventh place. Eighth place, we got Mason Sagar. Troy Banks coming through in ninth place. Brandon Thornhill in 10th. Ben Barnes in 11th place. James Rep in 12th. Mikhail Turkin in 13th place. Ryan O'Connor, the only Porsche in the field, 14th place. Nathan Heffley in 15th. Garrett Wilburn in 16th. Gabe Burke, the only... what is he driving? He's driving a McLaren tonight. The only McLaren in the field tonight. And then Brandon Birmingham rounding out the field, 18th place.
Yep, there we go. And we do have a full pace lap. So you've got probably a good 2-3 minutes to go and get a cup of tea, sit back, relax, and get ready for some awesome racing and get some popcorn in as well. So there we go. Just wanted to give, obviously, a big shout out to everybody that supported the JPB YouTube channel. We have surpassed 700 subscribers, so that is absolutely amazing as well. Thank you so much for that one, because, yeah, it's going to be a interesting one. Garrett Wilburn is not on the grid. He is in the pit. I suppose, to be fair, though, I don't think it really matters. To be honest, even if he starts at the back, I don't think it's going to matter because he can come out just as they're going past. So it should be an interesting one from him, I feel, and see what he's doing. Don't forget,
we'll have a bit of a delay though before.
Yeah, but
he's able to.
It depends if he wants to, because he's new, isn't it? If he wants to partake in, I suppose, the main front-running racing and not to affect the championship, I suppose. It could be just easier for fun. So there we go. There is a new poll in chat as well, guys. So don't forget, get yourself involved. Who will lead after the first lap? Graham, Abaddon, or another driver? So there we go. Obviously, I can't vote because it's my channel and it won't let me. But there you go. Have a pick. Let us know who you think's going to lead after the first lap. Hi, John. Let's go, Dilly. That's your boy Dylan Gonaz currently sitting in 6th place at the moment. Obviously, they are on a pace lap, so you know, take these places with a pinch of salt currently at the moment until they start grouping back up to see how we get on. So it's going to be a rather interesting one here. I've got a funny feeling Abaddon's going to go up the inside of Graham on turn 1.
Yeah, I don't think so. These teammates are going to work together. I think Nathan Graham's going to take the lead here. Amadon's going to slot in right behind him, play a little defense on these Lamborghinis, and we're not going to see Nathan Graham unless he just disconnected. What just happened there?
Well, he's gone down the order, and currently he's not on track. So
I think he disconnected. So, yeah, that's definitely going to change everything.
So if you voted Nathan Graham in the poll, you might want to change it rather quickly because currently at the moment he's disconnected out of the server. So, you know, just to let you know, and he doesn't seem to be coming back again as we go now.
Well,
for this lap.
Smorgonesburg,
they're giving him a lot of room, you know.
Yeah, Those guys got to be
Oh, no,
licking
he's
their
back.
chops.
Oh my God!
Where'd he come from?
I don't know. I think Nathan Graham might have a little bit of an issue, so we'll try and stay off Nathan Graham for a minute. And we are going to be going green, green, green here as they go down into the first corner. Currently at the moment it is Elliot Borg on the inside of Nathan Graham. Is he going to be able to manage to hold it at the moment? He's not, but he has jumped. Alexander Amadon currently at this moment in time. Everybody's made it through, including Ryan O'Connor. That was going to be the risky one coming through turn 1 on cold tyres, purely because the Porsche wants to do Porsche things. And if it doesn't do Porsche things, it wants to kill you. But currently Graham is through. Garrett Wilburn has left the pits. There he is in his Audi, and I'm expecting him to start moving forward. But it is Elliot Borg, Nathan Graham, Alexander Amadon, and Jay Smart. Everybody through, which is better than I thought they were going to be doing, Michael.
Yeah, that was an excellent start for the entire field there, especially since we didn't know where our pole sitter was for quite a large portion of that, the ending of that lap there. But yeah, the smorgasbord Lamborghinis there, they had to be licking their chops when they saw Graham just kind of disappear there, kind of looking at Amadon like he was a lamb in a wolf's den.
I'm surprised they didn't get up alongside, but to be honest, the fact that he came back, probably a good job that he didn't, because that would have been a nasty incident on the pace lap. And it looks like the answer to your poll is going to be Nathan Graham here as he's leading us off for this first lap of the race. He's got about a 7/10 gap at the moment as well. So there you go, Nathan Graham is your leader on this poll first lap. James Rep and Brandon Thornhill are together on track currently at this moment in time. So James Rep trying to go around the outside. I don't know if that's entirely a smart move. Oh, well, there you go. Depends if you have a teammate that lifts off, I guess. So there we go. All done and dusted for them as well. So nice and easy. The boys from Slowly Driving By You are working as a team there, Michael, which is good to see.
Yeah, the three of those Ferraris really just kind of working together there, feeling their way out. This is a tough track. Get those tires warmed up, get the car underneath you, and then you can kind of work together and move forward. So far, so good for the Slowly Driving By You guys, though, up into 8th, 9th, and 10th place.
Yeah, they definitely are currently at this moment in time, and it's good to see the fact that they are there and doing a stellar job. We've got Amadon half a second back, James Rep in the middle, O'Connor in 11th place. So Ryan O'Connor in the Porsche. Sean Atkins has gone and put himself into the wall. So did Mason Sagar, Troy Banks, and we're all involved in that one. So let's have a look back at that one very, very shortly to see what's happened here. That is Sean Atkins. Oh, he's on the grass. He ain't stopping that. You're not stopping that, bud.
Ooh.
Nope. No.
Almost had it.
Oh, and it just follows him off. Mason Sagar just kind of tunnel visions him, doesn't he, really? And when does Troy Banks take a little bit of a dive? Not long. It doesn't seem to be at the moment, but yeah.
I think we saw the ending of Troy Banks coming back on in front of James Rep there. When we cut over to the Slowly Driving By You guys, I think he was coming back onto the course right before turn 2 there, as we see that Ferrari is really going to have really backing out there. Cold tires start for Ryan O'Connor. Great job. That Porsche, like you said, not friendly on cold tires, especially through that first sector there. Able to really kind of take advantage. And he's starting to move his way forward here. But James Rep up 4 positions. Ryan O'Connor up 3 positions. And right behind him, that Ferrari up 6 spots. That's insane.
Yeah.
3 laps into it, already up 6 spots. Great start there.
There are your gainers and losers on your board on the left-hand side. Of course, Brandon Birmingham up 6, the biggest. Ryan O'Connor up 3. And Elliot Borg is up 1 with Alexander Amadon tucked up right, as they say, up his gearbox here with 18 cars on track. Sean Atkins is in the pits, but that's no surprise due to the fact that he did go off. So from his point of view, I suppose, do you reckon he can feel and get to the end from here though, Michael?
I believe so, but I really want to see the ending, or the battle here between Elliot Borg and Amadon. I think Elliot's unable to really start to chase after Nathan. And we see one of the boys got off there.
Smart. Jay Smart in the wall. That's at turn 2, unfortunately for Jay Smart. We just caught him flying off. I think he's just carried too much speed in here on lap 4 and has gone off here tonight as well. So unfortunately for Jay Smart, he's coming back on, but he's coming back on below Gabe Burke in the McLaren and possibly Nathan Heffley in the Ferrari. He is. He's off again. I think that car is generally what they call damaged. I think there, Michael, I think from his point of view.
Yeah, and it looks like he just jumped from the jumped to the pits. He's having some tough times controlling that. We did see him go off there. Did we just see another car go off, or was that still part of? Nathan Graham went off.
Yeah, he's in the wall.
Oh man, we got to get a replay on that. This track will just chew you up and eat you alive.
Whoa.
Oh, horrible snap there. What happened? What was that? Because isn't a wheels disconnect usually to the left?
That is so bizarre.
What happened there?
So he's coming in now. Huh?
And it just snaps on him. Just out of nowhere.
Very bizarre there from Nathan Graham, but that has released Elliot Borg with Alexander Amadon behind him, and also Ben Barnes is chasing down Brandon Thornhill currently as well. But the top 2 are literally nose to tail at this moment in time, so it's definitely going to be a tough job for Elliot Borg there as well. So 38 minutes remaining here, so let's see when and how Elliot Borg, and if he can defend it from them then as well. So definitely a tough one at the moment, but weird for Nathan Graham there.
Yeah, that was very strange there. I really hope we get an opportunity to speak with Nathan, or if he pops into the chat. I really want to find out what happened there, because it's just like a huge oversteer out of nowhere. Just snapped him into the wall. He didn't have any. There was nothing he could do to save that. It was just so strange. And here I was starting to get really excited to see this battle between Amadon and Borg here. It would have put a lot of pressure for Amadon on Borg. Nathan was starting to really get away, so Borg was really starting to have to drop off to defend against Amadon. It was starting to become quite a battle of strategy as we were starting to get into these later laps, and that just changes everything. Now it's just open for business here. We got 2 of the top 3 drivers, or 2 of the top 5 drivers at least, out.
It's going to squeeze him against there as well. Mikhail Turkin and Brandon Birmingham. Garrett Wilburn has had a big moment and is now in the pits. So Garrett Wilburn here, we'll have a look and see what he's been up to. But it's, yeah, whatever it is, has put him into the pits there. Another Audi. Another one. That's 2.
Looks like he just lost the rear end there, carrying a little bit too much momentum. Easy to do right there. You're coming uphill there, so you do lose a little bit of grip. The track, you do have a little...
Oh, dude.
The track kind of... Ooh, yeah, he kind of high-sided himself.
Oh, he's stuck. He literally cannot get that car down. So, unfortunately there as well. But it's been a bit of a busy start here as well. Ben Barnes, Gabe Burke, Troy Banks. What has been happening all of a sudden?
Yeah, we see Banks is out here, so this looks like Ben Barnes coming through, coming up to the same exact spot that we just saw the Audi lose it. He gets off into the marbles. Yeah. And then, Ryan O'Connor, very lucky to get out of that without any trouble.
Troy Banks, whatever he did, he put himself in the wall there. Let's have a look. Same corner.
They're just losing the rear through there. This is a tough track. You think you have grip, and then it just goes away. You know, it's all the elevation changes and the camber changes on the track itself. You can go into a turn and think that you're, doing just fine, and then all of a sudden you just lose the rear end and it's gone. That final turn right there, that's one of the toughest for me. I know coming through turn 12, it's just so easy for me to just lose the rear end. You think that you're clear to, start gunning it down the straight, and all of a sudden the track just falls out on you, and your grip is just gone. But it's just strange to see, 4 cars in a row lose it through that same turn?
Yeah,
Right.
I just... It's a little bit bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's here.
Now this is coming through. This is turn 12 that I was describing there just a moment ago. Coming through here, you have plenty of grip until it comes to here, and then it just falls off.
As we see here with Elliot Borg going down past the start-finish line and into turn 1. It's going to have to touch
those pit exits there.
This corner is a... Man, I hated this corner. You come off such a fast-paced corner and then you've got this long left-hander. And then off we go again. So, but he seems to be doing a fine job. Brandon Birmingham's in the pits, and that's not because he's crashed, just purely because he's in the pits. So that's good.
Elliot Borg definitely taking advantage of the opportunity he's been given. Started off in, I believe, 3rd place. Up 2 positions here now. Dylan Gonez up 3 positions. Up into 3rd place. So 2 of the 3 Smart Gonez Borg cars. So we saw Jay Smart did have an off there. Back on track, back in 15th place. But Dylan Gonez and Elliot Borg up 1st place and 3rd place right now. So still a strong team effort going on for those 2 Lamborghinis.
Carry on.
I was going to say you got three Lamborghinis here, 4, 5, and 6. So the Lamborghinis definitely not having the struggles they did last week. So maybe it's still a little early in the run. Maybe once we see the tires start to fall off a little bit, that's when we'll see some of the problems that the Ferraris had last week. But so far, we haven't really seen any issues from the rear ends of these Ferraris. They seem to look very planted. They've been racy. They've had good pace. Joseph Carnes right there up in 4th place has an opportunity to really put himself. He's less than a second down from Dylan Gonez, so he has an opportunity to really kind of take advantage as we ride along here with Mikhail Turkin.
Yeah, him and Mason
trying to move up into 9th.
Yeah, they just swapped positions. It looks like Turkin's going to go and have another go at him. Oh, is he going to be able to run him around the outside? Here we go. Mikhail Turkin's going to dive into turn 2. Oh, did Sagar hold that? Because he looked like he went in there a little bit more of a hodder than he needs to. As we jump on board with Mikhail Turkin now, we are going around that run from 3 down into Repco corner, the hairpin. You got to be looking at the inside now. Door's going to be wide open. Oh, he moved. Come on, come on. See, I did that in my TCR race the other week at this specific track. Did exactly what Sagar did. And the guy behind, unfortunately, hit me into the gravel. And I got a penalty for moving, which, still don't understand. But there we go. All good, all good, all good. As Mason Sagar and Mikhail Turkin are still battling away. The guys are from Elliot Borg and Alexander Amadon. What do we reckon? Is Amadon, do you reckon, going to try and get past?
I don't see a reason why not. Amadon's got a strong car. I think the issue that we saw with Nathan Graham, not really sure what exactly happened there, but there was definitely some sort of technical error, I want to say. So we know it's probably not the setup. If these guys are running, if their teammates, they're probably running very similar setups. I think Amadon's probably got a very strong car underneath him. He's just kind of waiting his time out. And his strategy has definitely changed because of the incident that happened to Nathan Graham.
Yeah, but the thing is, Nathan Graham's still running. So whatever it was, it hasn't affected him. So Ryan O'Connor here with Ben Barnes climbing right behind him currently at this moment in time. And O'Connor does Porsche things, hits the grass, and unfortunately for Ryan O'Connor, he's gone down the order. Is Gabe Burke going to be able to get this position? I think he's a bit far back. 19 seconds, so O'Connor should survive.
So easy to do that, especially in the Porsche. You just lose that rear end so easily. Coming into turn 1, if you manage to keep it through turn 1, then you got to get it switched around, go up and over the hill with the double apex. It's just so tough to do, especially in a car that just wants to just do donuts all day long, like the Porsche does. Yeah, it wants to kill you.
Yeah, every time.
It's so fun to put that car on the edge, but it's so easy to find the edge of the cliff and fall off. So
That's the thing. You drive a car to the limit, right? As we go into the last half an hour, guys, you drive the car to the limit, which I get, and we do generally, right? You drive the car to the limit. The trouble with the Porsche is there's no fixed limit. It can be 1 minute you're on the limit, 1 minute you're off the limit, but you're in the gravel trap because you went past the limit that you didn't know you were going to hit last time. And the next thing you know, you could just be hitting a limit that might not even be there. So where is the limit in the Porsche? It's such a bizarre car at times.
Yeah, but it's a very satisfying car when you nail it. Like it just, when you hit a tight, twisty section in a Porsche, it just feels right. It just feels like I don't know. It just feels connected. And yeah, sure, it does have its moments, but you know, you kind of sift through those moments and find the beauty in the chaos. I love driving the Porsche. I'm not the best driver in the world by any means. There's a reason why I'm up in the booth and not out on track, but I just feel so happy driving the Porsche. You know, when it clicks, it clicks. It just feels right.
Yeah, I can't say the same thing. I
understand. I get it.
It's just a car that wants to kill me every single time.
Yeah, I mean, all these cars really want to kill you. Don't get me wrong, but the Porsche, it's a very fine line. You're right. We start coming into the pit sequence here. This is where I really think things are going to get spicy. Did we ever kind of figure out? I believe it's probably the first exit because I see the blue cone there. So I think it's the first pit exit that they're using. But that's really gonna start. Oh, we see a Ferrari off there.
Yeah, Brandon Thornhill, I think, was moving out the way, or Brandon Birmingham, sorry, for the cars coming behind him because he has just been lapped there by his teammate as well from JBJ there, Joseph Carnes. So we are going to keep an eye on this battle. Here's your closest one. Brandon Birmingham went off track. Mason Sagar went off as well. Let's have a look at what Mason Sagar's been up to. Oh,
I think we
come
just saw
on.
Ryan O'Connor off there too. Ooh,
Oh. He's off. Where you going? Hello? No, you ain't making that. No. No. Come on. You can do
grab
it.
yourself back on there.
Get it on. There we go. Wow. That was a...
A little bit more rally racing than.
yeah. I wasn't quite sure what to say. It was like, well, that's a different one. I've never seen that before as he's gone off and grass-tracked the whole...
Ooh, Dylan.
Dylan Gonaz. Corner.
He was having such a great race. You just got to feel for him. He was having such a great race, and it looks like that Lamborghini is going to need a fast repair. Coming through here. Yep. You just lose it through there. You just lose the grip. You think you have it. You get the power down, and all of a sudden, the front end's just turning in on you. You see that wall, and there's not much you can do.
It's just... Since this update...
Oh, and we see a battle here for first place. Amadon going around the outside. He's not going to be able to hold it off, though.
No, I think that's just round that corner. Trying to push that outside line is just so tricky. So he's going to have another go at Elliot Borg and see how he can get on. But Amadon is looking very, very racy here this evening. So it'd be good to see what happened. Dylan is, unfortunately, Gonaz now is in pits. He's jumped straight to the pits. And Abidon and Borg are still fighting it out. It's going to be so tricky. I think since this new tyre update as well, the back end of these cars just, well, I don't know where the grip is, to be honest. They said they've made it more like real life. I don't remember any of these sliding off as bad as what we are watching here tonight as well. And what I've driven as well, Michael, I think comes to terms of how tough it's been.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been very challenging to keep the rear end of these cars. All of these cars, really. We've seen, well, we're not really sure what happened with Nathan Graham, but we saw another Audi lose it earlier. We've seen a couple Ferraris now toss it a little bit. Obviously, Ryan O'Connor's lost the rear end of that Porsche. And even the Lamborghinis. We've seen a couple of the Smart Gonasborg racing Lamborghinis. We only have one up in the top now. Elliot Borg's the last one standing.
No, it definitely
So
did.
it's been a challenge tonight, that's for sure. I think if you're Alexander Amadon, though, the strategy here is to keep pushing. If you find an opening, take it, but there's no reason to make a mistake here. You know, just keep pushing, stay where he is, unless there's an obvious move to take, and force Elliot Borg to pit first. I think Amadon has a faster car underneath him. I think he knows he has a faster car underneath him, and if he's able to get into some clean air when Elliot Borg does decide to take the pit, I think he's going to have the car underneath of him to really make that lap count. I think he's going to be able to make it work at the pits for him.
Well, let's see what happens here with Elliot Borg and Alexander Amadon. Neither of them have gone in at the moment. James Rep is sitting down in 4th place to answer your question there as well. He's kind of got cars behind him by about 3.9 seconds, and he's got Joseph Carnes up the road from JBJ here as well, who's got his teammate Brandon Birmingham currently sitting in front of James Rep there as well. So, you know, I'm sure there isn't team play going on, and I'm expecting Birmingham to move out the way, or are we not? Are we not expecting that then?
Yeah, I'm not really too sure about that, but I will say James Rep up 8 positions. He's quietly had a very solid race. Started towards the back of the field, up 8 spots. Still quite a while to go here, but I mean, 1 position out of a podium spot. This has been a great run so far for James Rep.
This is annoying me now. I got to be honest. You are a blue flag. There's no need to race him all the way through. Come on. Not trying to start an argument or heated discussion with Brandon Birmingham there, but that could have been done on the straight a while ago. So there we go.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit of team
I don't
play.
necessarily disagree with you there, but I mean, that Ferrari is going to be a little bit wider here for some of the cars coming up behind him, so it's going to help him a little bit.
Yeah, I think this is the thing, isn't it, Michael? We talk about blue flags and, you know, they're advisory and, they just drive my nut in from league to league, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, see, I'm more of a, you're very strict, you're more of a Formula One, you know, if you're a blue flag, get out of the way, you know, kind of feeling. For me, I'm a little more flowing. I kind of, it depends on, you know, the situation there. I think everybody has a right to the racing line in certain situations, but at the same time, obviously, if you're holding up a leader, you need to get out of the way. So I think I'm a little more flowing to say. I don't want to say lax in my opinion of blue flags, because if a blue flag needs to get out of the way, in my opinion, get out of the way. But I'm not going to force a blue flag off the racing line just because you're a blue flag.
Okay. I'm not saying I want to force him off the racing line, right?
I mean, you kind of are.
No, I'm not. Listen. If you're in a battle, right, and you don't want to lose time, think of it logistically. If I move over, the faster car's going to get through. The guy in front of me that I'm battling with has then also got to move over as Ryan O'Connor goes into the pits. So he's going to lose time, which allows us then to carry on and resume our battle. Brandon Birmingham was not racing anyone. He was on a straight. He could have let him go. We know JBJ, Joseph Carnes, is in front of James Rep. So technically, he could have lifted. He's not racing anyone. He's miles behind.
Borg's coming in the pits.
You know, so, you know, he could have moved, couldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with what you're saying. He could have moved. It would have been easy. That being said, Nathan Graham back up into 11th place, trying to get by Nathan Heffley. The two Nathans battling it out. Heffley just letting it go, not even going to fight that. Nathan Graham, extremely fast. We see Jay Smart having another off track here. Not a great ending of his day.
No.
He started off really strong, had that first incident, kind of falling back to the field. Definitely going to have a weekend that he's going to want to forget here, Phillip Island.
What makes it worse is what's happened after. So there is Jay Smart. He's going to go off first. You've seen this before.
Turn 2. It's a killer.
And then we're going to witness this.
Oh, Dylan losing it again. And, oof.
Well, mate, you might as well go in the pit lane.
He says not today, but...
Oh, no.
I don't
No,
want to
no,
take
no,
that
no.
car off-roading there.
Alex Abaddon's crashed. Abaddon's gone
Oh
off.
no! This was your chance. This was your time. Oh my lord.
This is the last. This is up in Siberia.
Oh,
Turn 5.
that same spot. Everybody spins there, and then he just doesn't have enough, and the Ferrari of James Carnes. Sorry, Joseph Carnes is just gone.
Yep.
So the Ferraris really starting to come on strong here.
Yeah, and Elliot Borg has come out of the pits, of course. These guys in front have not pitted. Sagar, Barnes, Thornhill, Rep, Amadon, and Carnes have all not pitted. And everybody has had an incident. Even Brandon Birmingham has gone off as well, as Elliot Borg's going to try and run around the outside of Mason Sagar. They're coming running around the last corner currently at this moment in time. We've seen where this all can go wrong. And Sagar goes into the pits. And it always, do you know what? I've wrote names down. And all I'm going to put on next to them all is turn 2. Because they've all been.
Turn 2, turn 5.
Yeah, turn 2. And pretty much that's about it. There's been the odd one out of 5, isn't there? I think I'm just going to put turn 2 and turn 5. So I think there has been a couple.
I think we've seen like 3 or 4 cars go off in a row in turn 5 there. Turn 2 and turn 5, they're very similar turns. Kind of, turn 2 is more of a double apex than turn 5 is, but in my opinion. But, you know, kind of, you have to deal with a hill. Turn 5, you're going uphill the whole way pretty much, whereas turn 2, you kind of crest the hill in the middle of the apex almost. They're very similar turns, and they're very tough. You know, they kind of, when I was driving the track earlier today, just kind of, you know, getting familiarized with it, it kind of reminded me of Spoon almost. You know, if you nail it, you're fine, but if you get it just a little bit wrong, you can really ruin your race.
I think it's the thing. We have seen Alex Abaddon go in to the pits. There he is, not currently stopped as of yet. So I got a funny feeling the fact that Ben Barnes and Elliot Borg is coming around the top part of the circuit. Elliot Borg should, I think, jump Alexander Amadon. Is coming around the last corner now. Amadon is still stationary. Amadon's moving now. Borg is on the start-finish straight. Depending on the exit, which exit are you going to be able to take, sir? It's the first one, and there's Elliot Borg. He's going to be the rundown into turn 1. What is Borg going to be able to do? Amadon's not up to speed. Here we go, round through turn 1 they go. Is Borg going to send it on the inside of Amadon? He's looking. Not this time. Yes, he is. He's gone up. Elliot Borg has just sent it on Alexander Amadon, and what a move from Elliot Borg there, Michael. That was absolute stunning.
Yeah, that was absolutely brilliant. He's got those tires warmed up, and then Amadon coming out on the cold tires, just setting it up the inside. Absolutely stunning move, like you said. Great job by Elliot Borg. He's had a stunning race. And I think this is his to lose at this point as we come up to some lap traffic. I'm a little surprised, though. I'm a little surprised that Amadon came out in front of Elliot Borg after Amadon spun that last lap. So I don't know if maybe Elliot Borg caught a little bit of lap traffic or something. There must have been something that slowed him up on his lap.
Yeah, there was a big... I'm not a conspiracy theorist, even though I do love a good conspiracy. But Birmingham seems to have made more of an effort to move for them two than necessarily James Rep. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not going to say anymore because I'll get myself in even deeper trouble than I'm probably going to already be in as Elliot Borg. Now, Nathan, Elliot Borg, Joseph Carnes just coming out of the pits. He's at the end of there as well. He's not up to speed. And it is Elliot Borg taking the lead. Is Amadon going to get through as well? Yeah, he's got to send it up in 2. He's got to Borg it. Oh, is he going to know?
He's not going to have the opportunity.
No.
That Ferrari's really blocking him off. Joseph Carnes moving up the field, up 5 positions. And, we see another Ferrari getting out of the way there.
Nathan Heffley. I'm surprised he's not picking up his fight with Brandon. But, Birmingham gone off. That'd be why.
Amadon did make the move, though. He is through. Oh, and he spun. Amadon spun. He got through and lost it in the hairpin there.
Amadon, Repco. That's all I'm going to put on lap 20. Alex Amadon. stuck, basically, for him. I think that's the words. Oh, where are you, Mikhail Turkin? You're not stopping it. You're not stopping it. Oh.
Not sure how he's able to just straighten that car out and go like nothing happened there. Those tires got to be dirty, but great save there by Mikhail Turkin. He was definitely. We were talking about quite a few people have been rally racing tonight, man.
Yeah.
It's the fourth or fifth car we just seen take a giant cut through the track.
I didn't think that he was going to be able to stop before he hit Brandon Thornhill. All I could just see is this massive T-bone in that slowly driving by you car, while Mikhail Turkin just comes and absolutely hefts him into the track. Oh dear, that's all I can imagine. He missed him, but that was what my picture was going to be, was the fact that I thought he was going to go and crash into him then. So, yeah, well, there we go. So, very close indeed there, as the cars have settled down now to their respective positions. 14 minutes remaining. Wilburn's out. Banks is out. Birmingham's in the pits, taking his pit stop. So, Brandon Birmingham there as well. And then you got Mikhail Turkin here on track currently at this moment in time. So, there we go. As Elliot Borg kind of did a stunning job there as well, isn't he? He sort of jumped him in the pit stop. That was it, really. There was not a lot else left.
Yeah, no, it was pretty much over at that point, especially with Amadon having a spin on his outlap, or his in-lap, I should say. I apologize. Yeah, that was really tough there for Amadon, because I think if he didn't have that spin, he would have been, quite a few car lengths ahead of the Lamborghini. But this Lamborghini driven by Elliot Borg has really come on strong here in the second part of the race, especially just basically since Nathan Graham, had his off there. It's been all Elliot Borg. Now, Nathan Graham up in the 9th place, if we follow along with him real quick. Back up into the top 10. Obviously, he's going to want more from tonight. He's going to be a little upset about whatever it was that happened there, obviously, but still a pretty solid recovery drive. We've seen Mikhail Turkin come off track a couple times, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Nathan Graham, possibly making a move into 8th, maybe even 7th place before it's all said and done here. But yeah, that's definitely going to be an unfortunate 7th or 8th place here for Nathan Graham. That he could have had another win, back-to-back wins, but something happened there.
Yeah, well, we just, as you saw, that was the weirdest. I think that was the thing, wasn't it, for us? That was the weirdest form of incident we've seen, is the fact that all of a sudden it just shot off.
Yeah, it just snapped. But from what I thought when a wheel disconnects, I thought you usually have like a left-hand turn. So, I mean, I could be wrong, but it just seemed like some sort of technical glitch there, where it just his car just shot off to the right. It wasn't even like a natural handling. It just didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, no, it didn't make any to me either, to be honest, because I think from our point of view, we've never seen that car sort of do that in that violent way. Normally, if you get net-coded, yeah, you go shooting off to one specific way, don't you? One way or another, depending on the side of which way you're going. And I think that's the thing. There was nothing. There was nothing there, and he just kind of shot off the wrong way, which is really a little bit bizarre. Brandon Birmingham has been off track here. He's going to run wide. Turn 2. Is he going to keep it out of the barrier? Yes. Good job.
Turn 2.
Turn 2. Another victim of turn 2 there. But, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Graham's got on the end of that, because it was just such a bizarre way of, doing it. It's just, yeah, I didn't quite get how he managed that. But Dylan Gonaz is closing down on Burke here. So, let's have the...
We haven't talked too much about the McLaren. Let's go ahead and follow along on a lap with the McLaren here.
No, this is Gabe Burke. I do love the McLaren, especially if it's got flames coming out of the back. I've got a funny feeling he's going to lose a position to Dylan Gonaz here. He's not going to put up much of a resistance. No. final poll is up as well on the screen. Will Elliot Borg take the win? Well, he's 5 seconds up the road at the moment, as Gabe Burke there as well is on track. Oh, that's a bit of a weird dash on the McLaren.
Yeah, I don't own the McLaren. I've never driven it, at least not in iRacing. And
What, have you driven one in real life?
no,
Okay.
no.
Well, it's just the way you said. I've never driven a McLaren, not in iRacing.
So no, I meant in a different sim, but
okay.
It's never really been comfortable car for me. But like I said, I've never driven an iRacing, so I don't really know how it feels. But you're right, that is a bit of a different dash. I know it's an older car, kind of being phased out a little bit. I'm not sure if they're gonna completely remove it, but not a lot of people seem to drive the McLaren these days. I kind of do agree with you though; those flames are pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. I mean, who doesn't want flames shooting out of the back of their car? Like, come on.
Clearly, man.
We were all kids at one point. We know what's up.
Mate, I'd want to be the car behind roasting my marshmallows. You know what I mean? As Mikhail Turkin has also been off here. This is in the turn 4 hairpin. So,
There's
unfortunately,
going to be a free 8th place there for Nathan Graham.
he's having a bit of a rough one. As we go back to live pictures now, and we are with Mikhail Turkin. The car's a little bit more spread out than I thought they were going to be over this period of time here, Michael. There is quite a nice little gaps between certain people. Brandon Thornhill and Mason Sagar. That's probably one of the closest battles on track as we go into the last 8 minutes. People we have lost so far, Jay Smart, Garrett Wilburn and Troy Banks are all out at the moment in time. So 8 minutes to go, and let's see how this one pans out. Minute 27, so we've got about another at least 7.5 laps, 8 laps here as well, depending on where the leader is. He's coming around Siberia, turn 5, top part of the circuit. So they haven't got long to try and get these positions. Sagar again, well, made a couple of mistakes, put himself out. Really, has he just done it again? It's just run wide. Yes.
Came really close there, yeah.
Yeah, he was so
And it looks like
close.
Nathan Graham's going to be right up on his tail, too.
Look at that.
Oh,
Just as I speak about him, he goes and runs wide in turn 2. Well, that's just...
Amadon. I think Amadon had an off. Why is Amadon in the pits again?
Oh, well, this would be right.
Oh, way off there, all up in the grass, and then just coming in and going flying. That's going to be done. I think Alexander Amadon's already used his fast repair, hasn't he?
It must have done.
I think that's going to be Amadon's day. That fast repair has really kept a lot of cars in contention tonight. I mean, we've seen O'Connor going off pretty hard. We've seen Turkin go off, Sagar go off. You know, we've seen Birmingham go off. Obviously, Smart used a couple of them. We've seen we've seen it come in quite handy tonight. So definitely something that they changed and has come in handy so far in this league since they changed it. I'm really surprised that we have the 4 cars out that we do, but I mean, this is a tough track.
And that's the thing, right? We've got. There's been a lot of incidents. At least somebody in the field here out of this list of names: Atkins, Smart, Barnes, Banks, Wilburn, O'Connor, Sagar, Gonaz, Amadon, Birmingham, Turkin. Did I miss anyone?
Graham. But Graham he's working his way back up into the top 5. He's a second behind, less than a second behind Thornhill there. I know we're following Joseph Carnes here. Joseph Carnes in second place, up 5 positions, having a great race. James Repp up 9 spots in third place there. Really quietly having an amazing race there for Slowly Driving By You. That team is coming on strong here. These Ferraris, none of them were up into the top 3 earlier in the race. Now we've got 4 in the top 5.
Yeah, 4 of the top 5 Ferraris and 3 of them from the Slowly Driving By You team.
Yeah, they're just keeping their head down and picking off positions as they go. Great race here by that team.
Now the question is how far is 4-0 going to go? He's got 13 seconds up the road to rep, so if he loses that position, chances of Graham catching rep are very slim. But how much of the defending is Thornhill going to do? That's going to be the question.
It's going to be really tough here. Nathan Graham's really going to force this issue. He's definitely got a chip on his shoulder as we see him coming into here. Taking a defensive line, Thornhill there, really hugging the inside. It's going to compromise his exit, but not really any place for Nathan Graham to go. As we come down, dropping into the right-handed hairpin here. He's going to get the inside.
Yeah, I think it's going to be job done.
Oh yeah, that was easy, and yeah, there's nothing that Thornhill can do to come back on him.
Definitely
Great
not.
job by Nathan Graham.
But you know what we're going to say, guys? If you're going to leave the door open, you're going to get burgled. And that door from Brandon Thornhill was left so wide. Nathan Graham come in, he stole the TV, the couch, the food in the fridge, and took away that 5th place, all at the same time. You cannot afford to leave the door open on that one. If you're going to defend it, but do not leave the door open, because that's what happens to you. As we go.
Yeah, but that was a great move there by Nathan Graham. He really forced the issue there, but did it smartly. You know, Thornhill didn't have the pace to cover him off the whole time. He got kind of stuck in that defensive line, and it compromised his exit. Nathan Graham just was able to really slingshot around him and get the move done before the hairpin even happened. You know, he was already pretty much clear of him.
Yeah. Could Thornhill have done more though? Could he have defended that inside line a little bit tighter?
Sure, he could have, but I mean, you're just compromising yourself and delaying the inevitable, possibly risking, you know, causing an incident, ruining your race. Obviously, you know, you want to do the best that you can, especially for your team, but the slowly driving by you team really having a great finish tonight. I think at this point, you know, Nathan Graham is a very fast driver. You know, he's got the pace. You're not really racing him tonight because he's just kind of out of position. So I think, yeah, Thornhill wanted to keep that position, but with, you know, 5 minutes left, 4 minutes left, whatever it was, yeah, I don't see it being, you know, economical for him to really fight too hard in that position.
Oh man, with 4 minutes left in the race, I would have scrapped like crazy.
I think
I would have parked it on every inside corner I could have done.
I see what you're saying, and I don't disagree with you, but thinking about the team there, knowing that he's got a stronger, faster car, as a team, you're going to score solid points tonight. You got to be a team player.
No, I still would have
keep those points on the board. Take the opportunities that you can.
Yeah, let's be real, right? Neither of these have really caused much dramas this season. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
if he'd parked the car, there's not to say that they would have had contact anyway. You know, I don't know. I like the defending side of racing and the fact that, you know, you can put yourself in that position where you do defend it. But at the same time, I think that, you know, you've got to give it a go at least. You know, and I think he gave up a little bit too easy, as we're going to see. Yeah, we'll take the white flag.
I don't disagree with you. Obviously, we all want to see tight racing, but you got to know your race.
Yeah, 4 minutes remaining, bro. Defend like crazy. Look at Jose Mourinho. He parks the bus with 60 minutes remaining if they're winning 1-0. Come on. It's like running the blitz every single time of the football game. You know, blitz, 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 blitz. Defend it for your life, brother. Personally, that's what I would have liked to have seen.
Okay, so what happens when you blitz a quarterback too many times is they're going to burn you along. They're going to go exactly where you blitzed, and they're going to burn you for it. Blitzing on every play, on every down is horrible. Just like in racing, you don't want to push too hard. I get exactly what you're saying. I just think that Nathan Graham was going to get that job done no matter what. Thornhill knew it was going to happen, and did the right thing to, you know, just kind of let it happen. Take the solid points for your team. I disagree with you. Take the points where you can. Nathan Graham's. You know, there's no reason to risk a contact there. Take the points.
Well, If you want to take Michael's route, take the points. If you want to take James's route, defend. Defend, dear boy, defend. As we go once more into the breaches, sir. As we see Elliot Borg coming round. I don't know where this is all coming from. You can tell this is late in the morning for me. Elliot Borg is going to come round and take the checkered flag. Here, your winner at Phillip Island, Elliot Borg from Smile Gonas Racing in the Lamborghini, finishing in first place. Joseph Carnes is not going to finish in second. He's put it in the wall. He's put it in the wall. Joseph Carnes on the last lap of the race is in the wall, so that's going to be James Rep.
What a race! What a race for James Rep!
I know.
Up 10 positions into second place. Slowly driving by you, just absolutely crushing it tonight. Let's go.
Dearie me.
And Thornhill still gets the 5th place.
Yeah, Carnes is still sat there. I don't even know what he's done, but whatever he's done, he's still sat there because he's not even showing up as he's had an incident. I don't even know where he's... Oh, he's there. Hold on. Let's have a look and see what Joseph Carnes did. Oh, no.
That was... What?
That was... What? So he dragged the curb there.
Okay. But he...
And he just couldn't stop the car.
It looks like he doesn't even try to correct, though. He just lets it slide.
I can't answer that. He's still there. Mikhail Turkin is going to come across the line now and finish off. Dylan Gonaz is another one as well. Carnes is down in 10th, mind you. He's finished. But Dylan Gonaz is in 9th. Some very bizarre actions here this evening. Maybe it's...
Yeah, there's been some strange connection issues or something.
There's been some EBBGBs going on here at Phillip Island. And one of them was with Nathan Graham and then that one there. But there you go. Mike, all the results are on your screen. Go for it.
Yeah. Well, Elliot Borg coming through. First place there for Smargonas Borg Racing. James Rep coming through in second place, up 10 positions. Ben Barnes rounding out your podium in third place. Nathan Graham coming through in fourth place after a disastrous little snap there. They dropped him to the back of the field. Brandon Thornhill coming through in fifth place. Mason Sagar in sixth place. Mikkel Turkin in seventh place. Eighth place goes to Ryan O'Connor. Ninth place goes to Dylan Gonez and Joseph Carnes there. 10th place. Not really sure what happened there at the end. He was running in second and then strangely went off. Gabe Burke in the McLaren coming through in 11th place. Alexander Amadon coming through in 12th place. Sean Atkins in 13th. Nathan Heffley in 14th. Brandon Birmingham in 15th. Jay Smart 16th. Garrett Wilburn in 17th. And Troy Banks in 18th.
Well, there we go. There are your three winners. Elliot Borg in the middle. James Rep on the right. Ben Barnes on the left there, to slowly driving by. You guys have done an absolutely stellar job. And we do have James Rep. I brought you in first, buddy. You know, up 10 places and second place at the end. What a race from you.
Man, look. I'm not going to say it was skill. I knew my pace here was slow, but I just had the sequence of events that happened that led me get to second place, man. It just all fell in their place for me, you know.
Are we saying there may have been a hint of luck involved?
Oh, just a little bit. I mean, maybe 2 or 3%, you know.
Well, look.
The rest was just raw talent, you know.
It was my raw skill, brother. Don't you deny it.
That's right.
But you got to give yourself some credit, dude. You kept it on track, which is better than, well, 90% of the field, to be fair. You know, they've had the list is endless of people that went off here. Atkins, Smart, your own boy Ben Barnes went off at one point. Banks, Wilburn, O'Connor, Sagar, Gonaz, Birmingham, Amidon, Graham, Carnes.
Man.
The list is endless.
So my game plan here was I seen everybody's pace, all right? And I knew I was middle of the pack pace, around maybe top 5 if I was super lucky and a bunch of people wrecked. So that's what I was aiming for. If I can run my pace and just keep it on the track and keep it safe, then I knew I'd be okay.
All right, okay.
That was the game plan, and it all fell into place, man.
I want to ask you a question. I'm going to be a little bit controversial. Okay, so be prepared. But I want an honest answer.
I'm ready.
Joseph Carnes was in front of you, right, at one point, from the JBJ. You were coming up to lap Brandon Birmingham from JBJ. Do you feel Brandon could have maybe facilitated the move on the straight a little bit earlier to allow you to get on, or do you think Brandon played it a little bit tactfully so you wouldn't catch up with Joseph?
So my idea right there was, because Brandon, he told me in the sim, he was like, "Hey man, tell me which side you want me to go, and I'll go that way so you can go around me." I'm like, "Look, we'll just wait until we get on the straight, because I don't want to try to pass you in these turns and stuff. So wait till we get on the straight, pull over and let me pass, and it's fine." We got to the straight and he didn't pull over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, okay, what's going on now?" But he ended up messing it up a turn or two later, and I got around him. But he gave me plenty of room when he did mess up, so it was no big deal.
But was it team play?
I didn't have the pace for corns, man. I'll be honest.
James, you're not helping my conspiracy theory here, brother. You know what I mean? I'm bringing headline news to the JPB YouTube channel, and you're not helping me, James.
Headline.
Oh, I don't know.
Man.
Who brought you into the booth? Blimey. Well, there we go. Well, look, an absolutely stunning race from you, James. Anyway, congratulations on your second place there, bud. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Just you guys, man. JP Broadcasting, LSRL for putting on the league, and teammates, man. Just all my Ben Barnes and Brandon Thornhill. We've been working on setups all week, just a stable setup, something we know we can make it around the track and finish the race with. And that's what we decided to do. Just go with something stable that was safe.
All right, well, you stay there a minute. Let's bring in Ben Barnes, the other member of the Slowly Driving By You. Now, at one point, I will say, you guys were third, fourth, and fifth, all at the same time with Brandon Thornhill there. So welcome in as well, Ben. Are you here? Can you hear me?
I am. It's nice to meet you guys.
Nice to
finally talk to you.
Mate, you can come in anytime. You're welcome. My door's always open. Just don't leave it open when you're on the track, because you will get robbed. But look, dude, you think you've had a good race as well. Third place, that's not too bad. And up 8 places for you.
Yeah, I think that's the definition of the tortoise and the hare right there.
Well,
don't got to be the fastest man on track to do well.
No, you just got to keep it on track, mate. And I've read the names
Exactly.
out. I've read the names out to James, and there was a good 10 people that went off. So, look, at the end of the day, you two gained 18 places between the two of you this evening. So James made up 10.
Easy work.
Yeah.
Easy work, man.
Are you guys going to go and push on now and take the team championship? Because that's what I'm interested in.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Not
Here's
even
the
that
deal, man. I mean, I'm just the greatest there ever was. I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence. It's just how it is.
You don't got to worry about us, guys. I mean, you see us fighting a bear, you help the bear.
That's right.
Oh, mate, listen to this. I've never heard nothing like it. We're going to Spa next, gentlemen. What's the chances?
I love Spa, man. It's one of my favorite tracks.
Good track, but I expect everyone else to enjoy that track. So
probably
a similar place.
Okay, well, Ben, listen, I've asked James already. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before I let you go, buddy?
You guys, like James did, and the league, Wilder Graphix for making us an awesome livery, and Nathan Graham for going off and letting some of us have a chance.
Okay, bud. Well, thank you so much for you. Well, maybe I should have spoken to Ben about the conspiracy theory, James, because clearly...
You probably should have.
Yeah, well...
What was it, Renault 2006?
So he doesn't sound like it, but Ben is actually British as well, so he would have been a better counterpart for you.
Well, the problem is it didn't happen to Ben, it happened to you, and clearly, you didn't want to respond and fuel my conspiracy fire. So, but James and Ben, it's a pleasure talking to you both, buddy. Thank you so much, guys, for jumping in,
Absolutely.
and I'll see you next week at Spa.
Definitely.
Sounds good, James.
Take care, man. Right, so that was Ben Barnes and James Rep. Now we're going to bring in your winner here as well, Elliot Borg, into the booth. Elliot, good evening. How are you, sir?
I'm shocked.
Dude, you don't have to be shocked.
No, seriously, practice this week, Friday. I was like P6, P7, like 8/10 off the pace. I was like, all right, cool. Well, let's hope for a top 5. So, yeah, to be talking to you as the last guys, I mean, honestly, I'm shocked.
Well, look, I'm not going to lie, right? You did an absolutely stunning job. Yeah, you managed to get the pit stop worked out for you. You jumped the people you needed to jump as well. Joseph Cohen's, Amadon as well. So, all in all, you've got to be proud of yourself as well. And to finish off with a 20, I think I've got 27 30-second gap, if I'm not mistaken. 30-second gap, apparently, according to the official standings there, in front of James Repp, who finished in second place. Stunning job for you. Stunning.
Heck yeah, thanks. I know Joseph Carnes had a hardware issue like the last half of the lap. That kind of knocked him out, so he was about 9 seconds back. But Alex definitely put it to me. When he came out in front of me, it was like, all right, I got to get this done early. Because I took tires because I was kind of ripping them apart, and I knew I would rather finish second and get some good points with fresh tires than come out with some extra time. And I don't know if that's what he did, not take tires, but I definitely took them just for the overall points. And he was kind of slow through that second left-hander, and it was like, all right, it's time to go.
Definitely was there, bud, as well. Your pit stop times were about 6 seconds apart. So your actual pit box time, you were in for 22, he was in for 7. Well, possibly, I suppose. Possibly you didn't. But look, overall, bud, it was an absolutely stunning victory. You did an amazing job. We go on to Spa. How is Elliot Borg going to do at Spa? What am I expecting?
Probably similar to the F1 series, looking for a top 5. But every time I say that, something happens, and I surprise myself. So, I guess I'm gonna say let's go for a top 5 in hopes that I can get another win.
Or you could just say, I'm going to crash out on turn 1 and make it to the end of the race and win. If that's your reverse luck, of course.
Right, yeah. So hoping for a top 5. If we can get another win, we'll get some more points, So this car, I don't know what it is. It's very temperature dependent. In Friday in practice, I could not make 3 to 5 laps without losing it in the last corner. So I was super nervous going into this. We were talking setups all weekend of how can we make this car more stable. But every time we did that, it just got super tight. So I just kind of gambled on a loose setup, and it worked out.
Well, it definitely did there, Elliot. An absolutely stunning job there, buddy. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go, of course?
Yeah, big shout out to Part-Time Pros. I don't know what happened to Nathan, but Alex and I had a really, really good battle, which is, why we come out every week. I hope you guys had fun calling it. So big shout out to them. Also to the league admins and the league owners. We're rocking and rolling, stepping and strolling, just trying to make this thing go every week. So having a good time doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Elliot, well, thank you so much for joining me, buddy. And I look forward to having a chat with you next week in Spa.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks, guys.
Take care, mate. Right, so that was Elliot Borg there. Michael, everybody seems happy. James Repp is back in chat. I can't stop smiling. He's winning the lottery at the moment. He's going to go and put a lotto ticket on because he's finished second. Sum it up in a sentence for me. Can you do that?
Well, I'll try to do that. But what I got to say here is everybody's happy except for you. You keep trying to start this conspiracy theory. Everybody just, everybody's just chill and happy with their position. And James, you just nagging them, trying to get something boiling. Come on, man. This is a great race. Unfortunate for quite a few drivers, but that's how this track is. This track is a tough track. It was exciting racing. Certain people just got bit, and you snooze, you lose. You win some, you lose some. It's just a tough night for a lot of drivers, but a great race overall. Congratulations to Elliot Borg. It was a solid run, solid battle there by him and Amadon there. But overall, just a great race tonight. Excited for Spa.
It definitely was. So there you go. Are you saying Joseph is PK at Singapore? Oh, could well be. See, the conspiracy theories could come out now, James. You know what I mean? Be careful here. And I would have run with that one, mate. That would have been headline news tomorrow morning. But there you go, guys. That is going to wrap up tonight's broadcast. So thank you so much for everybody that's joined me as well, from myself and Michael David. That's because I looked up at the name. Stop it. And thank you to everybody else here as well. And of course, we've got Biggles in the background doing highlights, so they will be up on the JPB YouTube channel very, very shortly, no doubt, as well. So from all of us here up in the booth, guys, as always, take care, have a great week, and you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.